Today I'm just out here fishing some flats. I've got a nice loose drag on. I'm fishing the shallows. It's 1 metre of water, maybe a little bit less now. But the fish are up here and they're looking around for a feed as the tide starts to run out. And you could say I was doing the same thing. I'm up here on the flats, I'm hunting for a feed. Eagle ray. Sometimes when you're out here on these flats in the shallow water, it's not always about the fishing. You know, ideally that's what we're here for. We're here to catch fish. But the amount of marine life that lives here, that comes through, that swims through to go, you know, in search of food, is just wonderful. I just had turtles popping up over here on my left, and then an eagle ray just swam through now. And then occasionally you'll come across a dugong. Just out here mealing around when they want at the right time of the year. But if you spend enough time out here in the shallow water, there's a fish, you'll definitely see more and more. Oh, I just dropped that one. Little fella. Bugger. Get back out there as quick as I can. So I like to do a few quick winds, get the lure down in the column of the water and then slow it down. When you're in search of fish, the idea is to change up what you're doing every cast. Sometimes you wind it in slowly, sometimes you can wind it in fairly quick. Sometimes I don't touch the bottom at all, sometimes I do. By doing this, what you're trying to do is get a reaction from the fish. And then the hardest part of that is remembering what retrieve you were doing. Sometimes you can just have the lure literally floating on the surface, doing absolutely nothing, and a fish will see it, and if he's hungry he'll come up and eat it. I've done a fairly big drift. I've drifted maybe 200 meters and I've caught 3 bream. Normally I wouldn't recommend leaving fish to find fish, but in this case the tide's running out and I'm seeing a lot more, look like more productive areas, so I'm going to go and have a look around for them. Sometimes when you get onto a patch of fish, you might be able to just do a few consecutive casts in a row, need my pliers for this one. But normally if you're chasing bream or just trying to get the kids onto some fish, generally if you catch one fish, you'll probably find that there's a few more there. So I'll let this one go and we'll get straight back out, see if we can get another. So I'm using your crank 38 in the mid diver. Where's the camera? Here. That's a mid diver. And I'm just throwing it out in front of me as far as I can. Just see if I can fix that camera up a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't fall over. And you just want to slowly wind it down, retrieve fairly slow. What you want to do, you want to be just bumping along the bottom. If you got, 2 or 3 kids all casting around the same area, if one of you catches a fish, there's a good chance the other one will too. So the technique, cast it out as far as you can, and I like to have my rod tip pointing the water, and I just continuously wind the rod until I start feeling a few bites, a few taps on the end of the line. And then after every retrieve, when you get it back to the boat, just cast in a different direction and fan your cast out around the boat. Hopefully without going over your sister or your brother's line or your friends. This technique definitely is a killer, and that's what I do when I'm trying to find fish. If I come to an area and I'm trying to find fish, I always put on a hard body lure and I fan cast around the area until I get a bite. Oh, that was a little bite. Now I got no electronics, I got no electric. I'm literally just drifting with a bit of current in the wind, and I'm generally throwing forwards of the boat. So as I'm drifting towards where I'm casting. That not only helps you cover water, but it also helps you slow down your retrieve when winding. I'm going to go and prove myself wrong here. I did just catch 2 in a row. Now I might have just drifted over the top of the fish. So I just need to find another school somewhere in between me and the mangroves. Very patchy weed and rock where I am. When the sun's out, you can see it. I'm only fishing in a metre of water. And I'm only casting maybe 30 metres above ahead of me. I just keep doing this, eventually I'm going to come across a couple fish. Sometimes you just got to be a little bit more patient. There's a fish. Now even the small fish are going to run, because there's not much water there. The only place they can go is run left or right or away from you. So they can't go down deep because there is no water there. Here we go. Oh, not ready yet. And there you go. Now it's always good to use a net. I don't recommend, if you got kids, to just grab them like I am, because they do hurt, and you got hooks and trebles and all that sort of deal. This one's very feisty. There's that atomic crank, 38 in the mid diving, and there's probably 27, 28 centimetre bream. Not massive, but good fun for the kids. Be careful when you pull out those treble hooks. Always use a pair of pliers, because these bream don't like to sit still. Excellent. Hope you enjoy and got a few tips, and tight lines to the kids.